Most of the guests over here, they were accident in whatever business they were into, because most of the people who are in real estate are by accident. So please share your thoughts on this.
So for me, it was not accident. It was it was completely planned. So before getting into real estate, I was into banking, insurance. So I started my journey as a counter salesperson. I used to sell perfumes in lifestyle. My father wanted me to start from there, and he told me that he started his journey as a counter salesperson. I did this for 5 years. I come from a Sindhi background, so money minded and business run in our DNA. So I was all this while there was a time I was thinking how I could make more money. And the simple answer was I have to sell something which is as expensive as it can. And that is how I would be able to make more money.
Welcome to the Hashtag Show. Today, I have a close friend of mine, Girish Chhalwani, who's a business coach with experience of more than 2 decades in the real estate industry. He has always been innovative in his ideas, whether it is marketing, whether it is branding, whether it's brand communication, whether it's an ad strategy. He was one of the first brand strategists where he involved the Bollywood stars in the campaigns. It's a pleasure that we have a real estate guru, prop Gyani, Girish with us today in our studios, who has 20 years of experience. Today is not going to be anything less than a masterclass in marketing, branding and sales. Hi Girish, welcome.
Thank you so much, Sangeet ji.
I was wanting to have you here for a long time, but because of your very hectic schedule, we were unable to bring you. So finally, you're here today.
Thank you. Let's start the show.
Sure, fantastic. So Girish, as always, we love to know your story. And in the last 12 or 14 episodes which we have shot, most of the guests over here, they were accident in whatever business they were into, whether it was asset management, whether it was real estate, whether it was construction, whether it was investment. Whatever little I know about you, you had a planned strategy and you were not an accident into real estate, because most of the people who are in real estate are by accident. So please share your thoughts on this.
So for me, it was not accident. It was completely planned. So before getting into real estate, I was into banking, insurance. So I started my journey as a counter salesperson. I used to sell perfumes in lifestyle, and I was associated with a brand known as Dior, Christian Dior, and I used to sell perfumes at on counter and called it as a counter salesperson. That's how I started my sales journey, I would say, and a hardcore sales journey. And my father wanted me to start from there, and he told me that he started his journey as a counter salesperson. So if anyone wants to become a good salesperson, a counter salesperson is the place where you could start a client facing a person who is able to handle objection in front of the client, able to think immediately. You have no room to get back to the client on the next day. So you have to be very, very active in terms of objection handling right then and there. Spontaneous. And if the client walks away from the counter, you have lost that client. So you have to, it's a spot booking, what we call it in real estate. So it was a spot sale that you have to do it at counter, and that's where you master yourself in sales. So that's how I started my journey and ended up in BPO, banking, insurance. And while I did this for 5 years, I come from a Sindhi background, so money minded and business run in our DNA. So I was all this while there was a time I was thinking how I could make more money. And the simple answer was I have to sell something which is as expensive as it can. And that is how I would be able to make more money. Okay. So I made a list, what is the most expensive things that people are buying. So private jet, watches, and home was not one of the things that I could jot down. But during that time, I was searching home for myself, and I was able to understand the difficulty that a home buyer goes through while finding his dream home. Correct. And that's where I decided that, okay, this is the place this is the thing that I would like to do in my life. I would like to get into real estate. Now I didn't know what to do in real estate. Whether I want to become a broker, I didn't even know कि एक broker करके एक segment होता है, एक builder करके segment होता है, कुछ idea नहीं था. So I was very clear I want to get into real estate. Now, what I want to do in real estate, I have no clue. All I did, I resigned from my last job. I was working with good investment banker, I resigned from that job and started applying at naukri.com. The first call that I got for an interview was from Nirmal Lifestyle, and got rejected at Nirmal Lifestyle. And today I thank God that I got rejected. And the second call that I got was from Lodha Group. So people aspire that I would like to work with a big organization, but since I already worked with MNCs in past, so for me, I mean, multinational company I have seen, I mean, I was handling as a wealth manager, I was handling clients from UK, US. So it was not a great deal for me to work with Indian company, but when I got associated with Lodha Group and I saw the business and I saw the real estate and I saw the numbers, and for the first time during the launch, as I clicked somewhere around 20-25 odd units in one day, and I was like, I used to sell insurance 25 units in a month, and I sold real estate 25 units in a day. So you can actually sell real estate like FMCG.
Correct.
So that's how my real estate journey started.
And
So-
which year was your Lodha experience?
So this started in 2011. So I was there for almost 4.5 years with Lodha, and contributed.
I think
around-
Lodha is one of the best teachers, right? It's an institution. Anybody and everybody who has come out of the Lodha school of real estate is quite an experience, you know.
So I would say those who were there, I think from 2010 to 2015, especially during Abhinandan sir, Karthik sir, those era were able to actually, I would say, graduated from Lodha in terms of sales and marketing, and all those people are doing really very great. And you would find, I mean, my colleagues, my peers, my bosses getting established as all CXO level roles in
You're
some of the other
CXOs
companies.
today now.
Yeah, all CXOs today.
Fantastic. Girish, how do you define the role of marketing versus sales in today's real estate ecosystem? Because there's still a lot of confusion between marketing and sales. So you're a strategist, so I'm sure you're the best person to answer this question. What is the difference between the two?
So there was a time, I think 2 decades back, where sales and marketing used to be a combined role, and then it became, and I mean, the business grew, and then you wanted 2 different entity in your business. One person should handle sales and one person should handle marketing. You need some innovation. I'm able to see for last 5 years, it is the market has started asking. The business has started asking again for a combined role, because a salesperson or a CSO, I would say, is unable to understand what CMO is doing. A CMO is unable to understand what CSO is doing, and I would not call it a ego clash, but because of their own difference of opinion, own expertise of their individual opinion, viewpoint, and area of operations also, both of them run into a different direction. For smaller business, yes, promoter can bring both of them on table and probably try to work things around. But for larger business, if both are not there together hand in hand, a marketing done for a right product might not conclude in a better sales, or probably a sales team running a good operations, but because of bad marketing might not be able to generate a better revenue.
Okay.
So today business would demand a combination of sales and marketing
Very nice.
expert. A person need to know a salesperson needs to know basics of marketing. A marketing person needs to know ground reality of sales. That is more
So now with Girish, your experience of both marketing and sales, and that combination which you have, does that become an advantage to you?
So the
some extent?
combination, it's to a very great extent, I would say. So today, combination of sales, marketing, branding, PR, communication, development, construction knowledge. So all these combination helps me to strategize and also understand developer very well. So I mean most of marketing expert comes with like developer ने बोल दिया एक business plan बनाओ, so 1000 crore का project से they end up coming up with a business plan to spend somewhere around 15-20 odd crores. Developer has that kind of margin available today? No, they don't.
Correct.
So how you can position the product by showing that you have spent 20 crores, but by not spending 20 crores, by spending only 2.5 crores.
You were one of the first strategists to use Bollywood as an hook. Can you tell us about that experience?
So I would like to correct you. I am not the first one
One
to
of the
use.
first, if I can say.
No, I am not one of the first. I
Okay.
learned from Lodha, and real estate is being used. I mean, people are using Bollywood. Developers are using Bollywood ages. I mean, in 90s also people have used. Those who can afford, they are using it. And
But you use some innovative
so
strategy.
yeah, innovative.
If I can use to rephrase
innovative,
that,
yes,
we were one of the
innovative,
first to
yes.
use a innovative strategy, not typically a brand ambassador.
Yes. So we did brand ambassador also.
Yes.
So my assignment with Platinum Corp in
We had Kangana
2018.
there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, we took Kangana Ranawat on board, and so I was very clear. So I always believe that if someone is taking me on board as a consultant, as a strategist, what additional that I would be able to bring on board?
Very good.
प्लेन वेनिला तो हर कोई देगा,
हर देखो देखो
मैं अलग से क्या दे पा रहा हूँ. सो दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एंड आई एम वेरी
very
क्लियर टू डू समथिंग आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स. सो वाइल डूइंग दैट असाइनमेंट मैंने बोला यार ब्रांड एम्बेसडर तो हर कोई ले रहा है, व्हाट एक्स्ट्रा वी वुड बी एबल टू डू. सो आई थॉट अ लॉट. ऑफ कोर्स प्राइस ये वो सब अपनी जगह पे ठीक है, एक्सपेंस अपनी जगह पे ठीक है, बट हाउ आई वुड बी एबल टू लेवरेज दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी, दैट वाज माय फर्स्ट थॉट. सेकंड, रेवेन्यू, सेल्स रेवेन्यू क्या जनरेट कर सकता हूँ. थर्ड, व्हाट इज द कम्युनिकेशन दैट आई वुड बी एबल टू गिव टू माय टारगेट ऑडियंस टू जनरेट दिस रेवेन्यू. Most of the developer or most of any industry, I would say, take brand ambassador, create a video, create a campaign, but the campaign get lost during the marketing because they are unable to connect with the target audience. मतलब ठीक है, स्टार है, स्टार का उसका फेम है, उसका क्रेडिबिलिटी है, वो टारगेट पुल हो जाएगा, तो स्टार का टारगेट पुलिंग हो जाएगा. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, डोंट वांट टू टेक एनी नेम्स, बट कंगना रनावत, अगर खाली कंगना रनावत से टारगेट पुल हो जाएगा, उसका चार्म से पुल हो जाएगा, बट उसका सेल्स कन्वर्ट नहीं होएगा इफ माई कम्युनिकेशन, इफ माई प्रोडक्ट पोजिशनिंग इज नॉट प्रॉपर. खाली खर्चा करके एंटरटेनमेंट करके कुछ नहीं मिलने वाला है, धंधा करना है. सो देन व्हाट वी डिड, the time when we took Kangana Ranaut on board, so we were very clear. Kangana did movie, Queen, she did fashion movie. So the product was in Andheri. The Andheri is known for hub of Bollywood. So let's call it, the product should be positioned for fashion, for Bollywood. Let's cater to that industry, or let's cater to people, those who are associated or want to or aspire to get associated with these kind of target audience. So we called this as a fashion residences. Then we incorporated few elements, probably a ceramic from a branded ceramic, and few other elements that could derive to a product which could be a fashion residence. That's what made me realize that this is where I would be able to link the product, and I would be able to link a campaign in a proper way, and that is what it will give a proper storytelling to the target audience.
And it was so natural, and you used that storytelling that there was a fashion show which you had organized.
So that's where we concluded. So brand ambassador was one. Then I was like, what else that will help me to ensure that yes, we are very serious about it. We want to call it fashion residences for some reason. एंड कंगना को भी इसी के लिए लिया है हमने, ब्रांड एम्बेसडर इसी के लिए लिया है, बट व्हाट एल्स. सो माय बिलीव इज माय distribution network has to be very strong. So my core belief and my trusted partner, my real estate agent, is there with me and is there with my success journey, and they have contributed a lot in my success. तो उनको भी, उनके जहन में भी ये फैशन रेसिडेंसेस जो था वो उतारना बहुत ज़रूरी था. So we did a channel partner event in 2018, and I believe that was the one of the largest event that happened during those years. As common हो गया, but उस time पे I don't think any apart from A category developer anyone did at that scale. So Sara Star, we saw close to 2,000 channel partner participated in that event. There was a fashion show. Kangana Ranawat walked the ramp, and it was all about fashion residences, and we did around 350 odd crores business in a month.
Fantastic.
So that's how we were able to connect. And then every 6 months or a 1 year, we used to do a campaign correlating with some of the movies, or a brand campaign with some of the movies. So जैसे कंगना की एक मूवी थी जजमेंटल है क्या, so then we used to link it with that movie, and we used to create a campaign and tell the client, please don't judge us, we are offering you 3 BHK at a price of 2 BHK.
Very good.
So it was always used to be an innovative campaign.
And you're integrating the entire thing.
Integrating the entire thing, because client needs something new. As a marketer, you need to get some new communication, some new brand campaign out in the market. And every time you cannot go out with a FOMO, limited inventory, ये price चले जाएगा, वो price चले जाएगा. People have lost, मतलब लोगों को
मालूम पड़ गया अभी ये.
हाँ, मतलब FOMO FMCG में चल जाता है कि ठीक है, फ्लिपकार्ट सेल आया है, अमेजॉन डील आई है, साल में एक बार आता है, ग्रेट इंडियन सेल आता है, लोगों को समझ में आता है. बट रियल एस्टेट में people are unable to understand, even agency to an extent are unable to understand that 1 करोड़ रुपया कोई भाग भाग के जाके नहीं लेने वाला है. इम्पल्सिव बाइंग 1 करोड़ 5 करोड़ के डील में नहीं होने वाली है. बट इमोशनल सेलिंग ज़रूर होएगी, स्टेटस सेलिंग ज़रूर होएगी. You would be able to sell experience, you would be able to sell positioning, and you would be able to sell an address. So these things you would be able to sell. So
Very well said. Excellent. Girish, what are some of the biggest shifts you have seen in how real estate is being marketed, say the last 10 to 15 years?
15 years back, when I started my journey in real estate, I would say it's exactly 15 years completed in real estate. 15 years back when we started in real estate, I think AI digital was not there.
Not there.
We were only talking about offline. So one newspaper ad, we used to get around 5,000, 10,000 phone calls, lead generation. And today I believe digital marketing, a CPL cost has gone to 3,000, 4,000 rupees per lead cost. So that is a major shift, cost shift that I am able to see. Second major shift that I am able to see is the buyer are much more educated today.
They are more informed.
More informed. You cannot पहले चलता था जैसे कि सर आप टेंशन मत लो, इधर तो ये बिल्डिंग आ जाएगी, आपको ये व्यू दिख जाएगा. सो इट इज़ नो लॉन्गर just information that can be just given over a conversation. People will cross check that information on internet.
And a lot of information is available on
Available also. RERA
is there.
To effect. So I mean, cross check will be done there, and if anything goes wrong, अभी तो RERA का competency certificate भी आ गया. So even the sales guys and channel partner, everyone needs to get that certificate. So I think transparency has, I think it is there. I think 60-70% तो आ ही गया. That's the first thing. Second thing that I am able to see in last 5 years especially is, so earlier someone who is beyond the age of 40-45 was the decision maker. In last 5-8 years, someone who was beyond the age of 35 was a decision maker. In last 3 years, age bracket between 19 to 23 are the influencer to someone who is making decision at the age of 30-35. तो आज जो भी मतलब अपने को ऐसा लगता है कि शायद वो हस्बैंड वाइफ अपने बच्चे के साथ आए, बट वो बच्चा नहीं, वो बहुत बड़ा इन्फ्लुएंसर और डिसीजन मेकर बन गया आज फैमिली में. नो पेरेंट्स और प्रॉब्ली नो young married couple or probably a newly married couple are able to take decision without someone in the family. And people say that कि अरे मेरा जो फ्लैट है ना वो 10 करोड़ का टिकट साइज का है, वो तो उस पर डिजिटल पे रिस्पॉन्स नहीं आता है. बट ट्रस्ट मी, who the person who is there on the digital age bracket between 90 and 22 in the family is influencing someone who is not there on the digital, not there on the Facebook, a age bracket of 55, and influencing him that we should go and see this property.
So this is a very interesting data point you have now mentioned. So अगर तो डिजिटल मार्केटिंग बहुत बड़ा और सोशल मीडिया मार्केटिंग एक बहुत बड़ा फैक्टर है रियल एस्टेट में, बिकॉज उसका जो यूज़र बेस है वो यंगस्टर्स ही तो है.
सर ये डिजिटल मार्केटिंग चेंज हो चुका है, सोशल मीडिया मार्केटिंग चेंज हो चुका है. It was always there, people never focused on it. It is now being focused and people are only getting success if they are using it. Now it is called content based marketing.
Content based.
Today is a content. तो अगर आप content नहीं कर रहे हो, I'm saying static post also need a right content, right copy, right communication.
Very good.
Video also need a right copy, right communication, right content. So if there is no content, पहले बहुत कम videos बनते थे, बहुत कम social media use होता था, तो आप जो भी डालते थे it used to be the best. ठीक है, बट आज हर कोई यूज़ कर रहा है, so you need to be the best.
How do you track? जैसे आपका सोशल मीडिया है, आपका रील्स है, आपकी स्टोरीज हैं, आपका पूरा कैंपेन है. हाउ आर यू एबल टू ट्रैक कि मेरे को इसमें से यहाँ से कुछ लीड्स आई, कितनी लीड्स आई? Is there a kind of a strategy there, or is there a way or a process? Yes. Can you share that? This is a marketing playbook here. So today, after with $1 billion of sales, at least you can answer this question, if to some extent, which is not a kind of a secret. So not a secret, but a kind of, because I get a lot of calls, right? तो यार ये तुम्हारे कितने व्यूज है, तुम्हारे कितनी रीच है, तुम्हारे कितने एंगेजमेंट है.
रीच, व्यूज और एंगेजमेंट तो डैशबोर्ड पे मिल जाता है आपको हर किसी के. आई बिलीव उससे कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, बिकॉज द मेजर फोकस शुड बी कि मेरे को उधर से बिजनेस कितना आ रहा है. इवन विद 10 व्यूज आर यू एबल टू गेट 1 डील आउट ऑफ इट? सो दैट इज मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट. सो योर कॉन्टेंट हैज टू बी वेरी वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग दैट कि मेरे को वो 100 व्यूज से भी मेरे को एक डील आ जाएगा. The problem is people are running behind the engagement, people are running behind views, people are running behind followers.
वो भी गिरीश, we know there are people which are, it's available, right? You can buy.
You can buy.
मतलब ही नहीं है.
जिसका कोई मतलब नहीं.
Whatever we are doing on our show right now, where we have about 1,50,000 views, it has been organic. I keep telling my team कि यार थोड़ा buy some views, buy some subscription. बोला नहीं sir, because then that engagement it hampers that engagement. Correct. So it's so we are not doing anything in terms of bots or buying of these.
So more important when you do a campaign for a product, so talking about on behalf of real estate developer or being a strategist, whatever communication or campaign that I have executed, the most important is strategy. And the reason why I have been successful, when we started the topic, sales और marketing का सबसे बड़ा फायदा क्या है? So sales क्या करना है, ground reality क्या है, ground check पता है, sales में क्या issues आ रहे हैं वो पता है, उसके basis पे marketing करनी है. Marketing के basis पे sales नहीं होएगा. Very good. Sales के basis पे ही marketing होएगी. Sales को support करने के लिए marketing होती है, marketing को support करने के लिए sales कभी नहीं होता है. So this is how we do the reverse calculation कि ठीक है 50 crores we have to do business for this month, let's do marketing for that. क्या clients आ रहे हैं already site पे, visit done कितने हो गए जिसमें से booking नहीं हुई है, तो जो edge पे जितने भी clients हैं how we would be able to convert. सब scientific रखा है आपने? Scientific रखा हुआ है and it is a deep dive customized for each and every project. Even if we are working for a particular brand at a portfolio level, project to project अलग अलग communication चलता है because उसका TG अलग है, उसका ticket size अलग है.
गिरीश, मैंने एक जो चेंज अभी देख रहा हूँ, एक तरफ एक डेवलपर है जिसके पास 150, 200, 250 की सेल्स टीम है और वो अपने आप सेल्स करता है और आपको एंगेज कर सकता है, वो अलग बात है. और एक है जो दे गिव द एंटायर मार्केटिंग एंड सेल्स टू मैंडेट मार्केटिंग टीम. And they themselves have a less number of number of executives on their payroll. Where did this trend do you think will continue, and where are we seeing real estate from here onwards now?
So I believe we had this discussion offline a year back or 2 years back. I think ये दोनों साथ ही साथ चलते रहेगा, and I don't foresee any issue getting a mandate team also on board. I have worked with many developers where I have consulted them, where mandate team was doing the sales and I was being the strategist for brand marketing and also taking reviews for mandate companies as well. The most important that I keep telling developer is, the most important part is who is driving it, who is driving the sales for your project. That is important. Even if the mandate company is coming on board, who is the person who would be driving sales and marketing for that project?
Very good.
If the person is driving the sales and marketing for that project, if you have confidence in that person, and if the person comes with that experience and has given success to the mandate agency and the previous projects as well, then by default you will be able to taste that success. But if you rely on the mandate agency and the mandate agency is sending someone who has newly joined, then mandate agency is also doing R&D, the person is also doing R&D, and if he is coming from a developer background, he doesn't know how the mandate works and he doesn't know how the marketing works.
Correct.
So the entire your project actually becomes an R&D and guinea pig for him to conclude the sales or marketing, whatever the learning that he would be able to get from you.
गिरीश, यहाँ पे ना एक थोड़ा इशू आता है in mandate marketing, and I'm sure you will agree to what I'm saying. And I get a lot of my broker friends complaining that typically when the lead is generated from a ex broker और मालूम पड़ता है कि वो project में उसने नहीं लिया, then the mandate marketing company uses that lead for some other project. How do you think? I mean, again, this is part of the business, right? But how can we ensure that the channel partner gets his dues?
सर, आई थिंक इसमें सबसे बड़ा फॉल्ट ब्रोकर का भी है, मैंडेट एजेंसी का भी है और डेवलपर का भी है. इसमें पूरी रियल एस्टेट कम्युनिटी का फॉल्ट है. आई वुड नॉट ब्लेम मैंडेट एजेंसी alone if they are doing it. I don't know.
We are not.
I'm not naming.
It happens. It's a possibility.
I'll give you a case study.
Very good.
I'll give you a case study. So there is a mandate agency in Malad, जिसका ये केस मेरे सामने आया था. Now, this mandate agency took a mandate for a project which was at Kandivali at 2%. ये 2% में they are supposed to bear the cost of mandate agency, their sales team, marketing team, and also give a payout to channel partner, where 80% bookings happens through channel partner.
Correct.
अब वो डेवलपर ने बोला तेरे को परवड़ता है 2% में तो करो, नहीं तो नहीं करो.
तो मत करो. हाँ.
ठीक है ना. मैंडेट एजेंसी इज इन अ स्कूप एंड चिकन एंड द एग सिनारियो. और कंपटीशन भी इतना है कि वो तो करना ही है, नहीं तो बेचारे मैन पावर भी बेंच पे बैठे हुए हैं, उतना मैन पावर भी लेके रखा हुआ है, सैलरीज भी पे आउट करनी है. इट्स अ बिजनेस, इट्स अ हार्ड कॉल. सो यू एंड अप टेकिंग इट. नाउ वंस यू आर ऑनबोर्डेड, ठीक है, सच काइंड ऑफ प्रोजेक्ट्स. नाउ डेवलपर ने आपको बोल दिया कि ठीक है मेरे को 25,000 का रेट चाहिए, बट ऑनबोर्ड होने के बाद नहीं ये तो 25,000 में अपने को परवड़ता ही नहीं, अपने को 27 के नीचे नहीं करना है. What would mandate agency do at that time? You tell me. So it's not just mandate agency; it's the entire community that need to be ethical. If, like channel partner wants to have win-win situation, developer wants to have win-win situation. Now developer doesn't understand, and I'm not talking about developer at large scale, but yeah, few does this. Few have understood that it is like penny wise wise and pound wise foolish thing that they are doing. Now because of this, what they try to do is कि ठीक है mandate agency का client आएगा, mandate agency निकल जाएगा 3 महीने के बाद, we'll have all the clients and we will close it.
From the builder perspective now.
This is from the builder perspective. But that's not the scenario. The client has already closed somewhere else. You think you would be able to encash it. Now imagine the interest loss of that 3 months. The opportunity cost of the 3 months. You have a project of 100 crores or 200 crores. The 3 months cost of interest and opportunity loss is somewhere around 50 lakhs to a crore.
So I think we all have to look at the larger picture rather than looking at that particular moment or that apartment.
Yes.
Very good. We're talking about actually एक marketing playbook बन रहा है अभी, ठीक है? So how important is brand building in real estate? Because that again, now there is a lot of stress on brand building. Earlier we were not having. 10 years back, Girish, if you asked anybody, give us 10 brands of real estate, people would start with Oberoi, Rustomji, and just stop there. But today branding is important, and that's what you are an expert, and that's what you bring on the table. So want to share something on the branding perspective?
Brand building is the most important thing, especially in real estate, because people put their life saving with you, and if you are unable to build that trust, then how would you charge? I mean, forget about charging premium. How would you even be a sustaining business person selling month on month with the same volume and doing same business year on year and also having growth also for your business? So brand building is very, very important. Just to give you an example, पनवेल
केस स्टडी हो जाए
एक केस स्टडी
अगर आपके पास
केस स्टडी तो मैं आपको देता हूँ, मैं आपको एग्जांपल देता हूँ वेयर आई हैव नॉट वर्कड, ठीक है, बिकॉज एवरी टाइम इफ आई गिव यू केस स्टडी वेयर आई हैव वर्कड इट आल्सो बिकम रॉन्ग.
आपका भी 20 साल का एक्सपीरियंस
नहीं, मैं तो बोलता हूँ मैंने जिधर काम नहीं किया वो भी आपको केस स्टडी देता हूँ.
वेरी नाइस वेरी नाइस.
सो पनवेल आउटस्कर्ट्स ऑफ मुंबई, ठीक है, आप मतलब मेरे को नहीं लगता आप लोग में से ज़्यादा लोग कोई गए भी रहेंगे, आपके ऑडियंस दोज हु आर स्टेइंग इन खार बैंड्रा जू, आई डोंट थिंक एवरीवन वुड हैव विजिटेड.
एब्सोल्युटली.
So Panvel, you would have seen Hiranandani Panvel.
Yes.
I don't think most of us have visited that property. A 2 BHK in Hiranandani Panvel today is costing around 1.2, 1.3 if I'm not wrong. Somewhere around, approx that price. Around a crore, let's assume around a crore. In the same vicinity, I can tell you a 2 BHK you would be able to get at 40 lakhs also.
So brand makes a difference.
And that person who is selling at 40 lakhs is unable to sell for last 4 years, and Hiranandani is successfully selling month on month, year on year, and completing projects, delivering projects in the same micro market.
But again ना गिरीश देखो ना, ये तो जो टॉप 10-15 ब्रांड्स की बात है. आई एम श्योर यू हैव वर्कड विद developers who are not a brand. Do you want to share any secret sauce of few elements what you would want to put into branding? Say their commitment, their completion. अभी तो खैर एरा आ गया है, but उसके अलावा.
So commitment and self integrity is very very important. Very important. So कोई भी जब आप एक प्रोजेक्ट चालू करते हो तो चलो उसका टाइमलाइन तो 4 साल 5 साल का है. So it becomes very difficult for a person to realize whether how good you are in terms of your commitment and integrity. But on a daily basis, when customer comes and meet you, if you say one thing today and if you are not able to deliver that tomorrow, then it becomes questionable कि ये building क्या बनाएगा. So just to give you a small example, if customer comes on your at your doorstep and asks for, let's take an example, just an allotment letter, और आप उसको बोलते हो कि ठीक है मैम आपको परसों मिल जाएगा, और वो अलॉटमेंट लेटर उसको 2 महीने तक नहीं मिलता है, फॉर वॉट एवर XYZ गिवन रीजन.
ऑल पार्ट ऑफ ब्रांड बिल्डिंग.
दिस इज ऑल पार्ट ऑफ ब्रांड बिल्डिंग. और चैनल पार्टनर क्लाइंट लेकर आया, उसका टैगिंग नहीं हुआ, उसका एक्सपीरियंस खराब हुआ, दिस इज ऑल्सो ब्रांड बिल्डिंग एक्सरसाइज. तो आपको ऐसा लगता है कि ठीक है यार एक चैनल पार्टनर का एक्सपीरियंस खराब हो, उसमें मेरे को कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला है, बट दैट इज वन ऑफ द ब्रांड बिल्डिंग एक्सरसाइज विच यू लॉस्ट एन अपॉर्चुनिटी विदाउट एनी कॉस्ट.
वेरी गुड.
Without any cost. So the most important part is experience and commitment. ये दो
both are important.
और उसके बाद जब प्रोजेक्ट डिलीवर होएगा तो people will talk 10 times more about it.
Sure. Let's shift from marketing to sales now.
The most important part of business.
अच्छा खासा मार्केटिंग ब्रांडिंग के बारे में आप लोगों को गिरीश से आइडिया मिल गया है, तो सेल्स इंजन के बारे में बात करते हैं. What does a high performing real estate sales team look like today? This is a very important question. कि जो हमारी आर्मी है, सेल्स आर्मी, वो कैसे दिखती है आपकी नज़रों से? और कैसी होनी चाहिए?
होनी कैसी चाहिए वो बात करते हैं, दिखती कैसे वो मेरे को एक बहुत बड़ा क्वेश्चन मार्क है, बट होनी कैसी चाहिए वो बात करते हैं. बिकॉज आई फील 2-3 years बैक 19-20 रहता ना तो चल जाता था, ठीक है, आज नहीं चलेगा.
आज स्टेक्स ज़्यादा हो गए,
बहुत ज़्यादा हो गए. सो इफ़ यू आर इन मुंबई यू नीड हाई सैलरी. वाई यू नीड हाई सैलरी? बिकॉज ऑफ योर लाइफ स्टाइल, बिकॉज ऑफ रेंटल, बिकॉज ऑफ ट्रैवलिंग. इमेजिन समवन हु इज़ वर्किंग इन बोरिवली एंड स्टेइंग एट थाने. नाउ योर जॉब्स डिमांड यू टू ट्रैवल एट बोरिवली. It takes 2.5 hours from Thane to Borivali. Imagine the stress level of that person. And it is not work stress, it is a travel stress. It is a pollution stress. It is probably a noise pollution stress. और उसके ये स्ट्रेस के बाद वो उधर पहुंच रहा है. जूनियर लेवल एम्प्लॉय का ये सिचुएशन में उधर पहुंचना, इट विल इम्पैक्ट योर बिजनेस बिकॉज दिस इज व्हाट ही विल डिस्ट्रीब्यूट टू योर team member, this is what he will distribute to your channel partners. This is he will distribute to your clients also. Imagine a leader reaching office with this stress, distributing to the entire organization. So a sales team today need everything. A person needs to able to manage and balance his work and his personal life both, able to manage his stress also. And we have seen many medical issues in big organizations recently in last 2 years because of these reasons. So that is the first. Second, the most important thing that we need to start doing now, which I think we have lost or probably we missed doing between 2015 to 2020 or 22, was training. सेल्स ट्रेनिंग पहले बहुत चलती थी, लोग सीखते थे, जो बंद हो गई है. आज सब लोग खुद को है ना बहुत तुर्रम खान समझते हैं. ठीक है, मार्केट बहुत ज़्यादा स्पीड में चल रही थी, बहुत ज़्यादा तेज़ी में थी. जिसको सेल्स नहीं भी आ रहा था वो क्लाइंट मीटिंग कर ले. क्लाइंट की ज़रूरत थी, इट वाज अ नीड ऑफ द आवर, डिमांड फ्रॉम द क्लाइंट. धंधा हो जा रहा था, सेल्स हो जा रहा था, तो उतना ज़्यादा फ़र्क नहीं पड़ रहा था. बट नाउ द मार्केट हैज़ बिकम टफ फॉर लास्ट 6-8 months. The situation has become tough.
Also, real estate is cyclic also.
Cyclic also.
तो वो आना ही था.
अभी churning होएगी. मतलब now someone has induced coma. मतलब automatic नहीं है, ये किसी ने induce किया है. तो अभी इस टाइम पे तो it is all the more important that you get trained, you get geared up. मतलब अभी सारे आपके arms, ammunition सब कुछ आपके पास होना चाहिए. आपको marketing भी आना चाहिए, reel बनाने भी आना चाहिए, प्रोडक्ट पोजिशनिंग भी आपको ही आनी चाहिए एज अ सेल्स पर्सन, और उसका फॉलोअप भी आना चाहिए, क्लाइंट को प्रॉपर तरीके से पकड़ के भी रखने आना चाहिए. मतलब सेल्स इज एन आर्ट, ठीक है. सो वॉट एवर द मार्केटिंग गाय थिंक, यू शुड ऑल्सो थिंक इन द सेम लाइन एज अ सेल्स पर्सन एंड गिव दैट फीडबैक टू अ मार्केटिंग गाय दैट दिस इज वॉट आई नीड इन योर मार्केटिंग एज अ सेल्स पर्सन. तो वो ट्रेनिंग कहाँ ना कहाँ पे I think last 4-5 years, 7 years, we missed. And especially real estate में we don't believe in training. अपने को ऐसा लगता है कि ठीक है, गोदरेज से आया है, बड़ी ब्रांड से आया है, तो इसको हायर कर लेते हैं, ऑलरेडी ट्रेन किया हुआ बंदा. बट दैट्स नॉट द केस. ही वॉज ट्रेंड फॉर गोदरेज, ही वॉज ट्रेंड फॉर लोधा, ही वॉज ट्रेंड फॉर हीरानंदानी. You need to train for your product, for your culture, for your brand.
So training, you're saying, is important.
Very, very important. The TCS is the most successful organization on the planet. TCS spent 15% of their top line, not the net revenue, of their top line in research and development. They spent 7% of their top line in training.
So let's talk about data, because that's we've been talking about for a long time. According to you, what role does the data play in optimizing the sales performance?
आज तो बहुत ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट हो गया है. एंड आवर कॉमन फ्रेंड अभिषेक फ्रॉम CRE Matrix हैज़ बिकम द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट पर्सन एंड द टॉक ऑफ द टाउन टुडे. सो डेटा हैज़ बिकम वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज पहले क्या होता था, किसी को मेरे को अंधेरी में फ्लैट बेचना है तो मैं कोई भी पर स्क्वायर फीट रेट लगा सकता था. बट टुडे कस्टमर कैन जस्ट गो ऑन दी ऐप एंड चेक कि यही बिल्डिंग में सेकेंड फ्लोर क्या प्राइस पे बिका था और मेरे को फोर्थ फ्लोर डेवलपर क्या प्राइस पे बेच रहा है.
ये बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है गिरीश, क्योंकि अभी ऐसा लग रहा है कि बहुत साइंटिफिक हो गया है रियल एस्टेट, जो कि पहले नहीं था. कोई एवरी, जैसे भी आपने स्पोक अबाउट CRE Matrix, देयर इज PropStack, यू आर गेटिंग लॉट ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन अबाउट अ प्रोजेक्ट राइट एट योर फिंगर टिप्स. कितना इन्वेंटोरी बिका, कितना इन्वेंटोरी नहीं बिका, लास्ट अपार्टमेंट क्या रेट में बिका. सो ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है.
बट माई प्रॉब्लम इज हाउ मेनी ऑफ
आर यूजिंग इट.
That's the biggest problem because this data will come at a cost.
गिरीश ज़्यादा लोग यूज नहीं कर रहे, तभी तुम्हारा काम अच्छा है ना. आप मर्सिडीज में आए हो. We don't have that many Girishes also right now. There are only a handful of Girishes. Because I think ना गिरीश, ये आज मेरे को भी 30 साल हो गए हैं कि रियल एस्टेट में हम लोग बहुत ट्रेडिशनल माइंडसेट से काम करते हैं. अब ये पूरा चेंज हो गया है. आपने बताया अबाउट सेल्स, अबाउट ब्रांड बिल्डिंग, अबाउट अ मार्केटिंग प्लेबुक. अर्लियर दिस वाज नॉट देयर. ऑनेस्टली अगर मैं ये पॉडकास्ट आपके साथ आज से कुछ 10 साल पहले करता तो इतना लंबा भी नहीं चलता. So now there is a lot of different
10 साल
elements.
पहले I think there was one newspaper ad and few portals that we used to do, and probably a max on a very higher side SMS blast.
नहीं मतलब रियल एस्टेट के ऊपर आप बात क्या करोगे, कुछ है ही नहीं. अब तो देखिए ना, वी हैव बीन टॉकिंग एंड देयर आर मोर एंड मोर आइडियाज कमिंग इन. फैंटास्टिक. लेट्स कंटिन्यू नाउ. Are site visits still the ultimate conversation moment, or is it virtual selling catching up?
So virtual selling is catching up, no doubt about it, but not to a great extent yet, because Indian culture, Indian people, psychology,
देखना है एक बार.
touch and feel. आप सोचिए आज भी you talk about FMCG, clothing brands and all still have malls, stores available. So touch and feel, try करके देखते हैं, जाके खुद देखते हैं. People still believe beyond Zoom meetings and G meets, one-on-one, face-to-face meetings. Deal conclude करने के लिए सामने सामने मिलके एक बार personally attach. So it is more of a self satisfaction scenario.
So first layer of information can be shared.
Yes, information से भी ज़्यादा they will
discuss
go.
करते हो.
हाँ, मतलब एक लेवल पे जाके डिस्कशन भी हो जाएगा. वर्चुअल रियलिटी में they will be able to see the entire project, progress, everything they will be able to absorb. Then probably पहले जो होता था ना 6 visits हो गए, revisits हो गए 6, 7, 10, that has come down to I think 1 or 2. And someone still having that 6, 7, 10 revisits, I think they are going wrong. ठीक है, because each visits is also a cost.
Correct. So we spoke about marketing, branding, sales. The most important aspect of real estate is the buyer. So let's talk about the buyer behavior. How has the mindset of today's property buyer changed compared to 10, 15 years ago?
I think 10, 15 years ago was more of कि मेरे को यार घर खरीदना है and I want it was my need of buying property. That has changed. Now it is more of a lifestyle, it is more of a status, it is more of an address. It is more of a probably I would say they want to flaunt that I'm staying at this.
It's a statement?
It's a statement. Of course it's a statement. Delhi DLF Camellia talking
Absolutely.
about 2 lakh rupees a square feet. It's a statement. So does that area or does that product demand that kind of per square feet rate? I'm not too sure, but yeah, people are paying it. Because I have someone from Shark Tank, like all the sharks staying in this building. So I have a promoter of this particular unicorn staying next to me, or probably on the lower floor he's staying, a cricketer staying on a higher floor. So because of all these reasons, it becomes more like an address and people that you are surrounded with, people you want to be staying close with. So that's what people wants to pay for. But 15 years back, 10 years back, people wanted to pay for per square feet.
Now it's a completely a different phenomenon now.
That has changed. So I think while talking to you, I think I have brainstormed a campaign. I think my next campaign could be a happiness per square feet.
Very nice. ठीक है, फायदा है शो जाने का.
नहीं मतलब ठीक है, ट्रेडमार्क करना पड़ेगा ताकि कोई यूज नहीं करे.
बीच में एक शो देखा था जिसमें यही बात हो रही थी कि हैप्पीनेस इज द की. You have luxury, you have the BMW of the world, but if you are not happy, then there is no this thing. Life is of no meaning without happiness. So happiness is important. So happiness per square feet would be a fantastic campaign, next campaign which you can do. What are the most effective ways to build trust with high ticket clients, because they have all the money, and especially the luxury segment?
Experience.
You have to give them the best experience.
Yes. Not the best experience, the actual experience. I mean the way you are, and they have to like you the way you are.
और मेरे ख्याल से with all due respects, I think लोधा ने वो बहुत अच्छी तरीके से किया है, काफी हद तक.
So I would say
उनका जो
so I would say many a boutique developer from Khar is also able to do. A boutique developer from Borivali is also able to do. So you asked me what has changed, or probably how I came into real estate and how I was being successful. So I told you that I was trying to find the most expensive thing that I'm able to sell.
Correct.
After real estate, I'm trying to sell the most expensive thing was myself.
Correct.
Because I'm trying to give the best experience that I can give
Correct.
to my channel partner, to my developer, to my clients, to everyone whom I meet. Even if I'm not able to gain money out of it, but what experience that I'm able to give that person, because that is what will build my brand and do my marketing also in long run. So that is what sells in luxury, that is what sells in affordable also, and that is what sells in future. Okay, and that is what sales and brand will become in future. So पहले luxury में चलता था, but आज affordable में भी वही चल रहा है. Credibility and experience will be the only selling point. I still remember 2011, 2012 when I was associated with Lodha. What people are doing today, Lodha was doing in 2011 for Palava project, where the ticket size was 25 lakh rupees. We used to give experience, we used to talk about process. Agar customer, so we followed funnel technique, ठीक है, Lodha taught us to follow funnel technique. So the entire process was followed by a funnel technique, and the customer experience, the element and the points of customer experience was through this funnel technique.
Correct.
So this was like, you know, followed by Lodha 15 years back. So this experience is the only way that you would be able to master not only just luxury but also in affordable.
Very good. During our conversation, Girish, you spoke about rejection. You know, tell us something. How can a broker, because it's quite depressing, you know, when you get rejected or when your sale deal जो आपने बहुत मेहनत करके उसको पकाया वो it gets cancelled, token amount money gets returned. How do you mentally and how do you emotionally train your sales, as well as what would be your advice to the brokers? क्योंकि रोज आपके साथ होता है ना, रोज मतलब ये इट्स पार्ट ऑफ द बिजनेस, राइट? तो डील टूटना, टोकन वापस आना, तो हाउ डू यू ट्रेन एंड हाउ डू यू मोटिवेट एंड हाउ डू यू एम्पावर दोज brokers as well as your sales team?
So the most important part I believe in sales is to put your effort in a right direction. Most of the people fail to understand. लोगों को ऐसा लगता है यार मैं बहुत मेहनत कर रहा हूँ बट मेरे को है ना रिजल्ट नहीं आ रहा है. मेहनत किसको बोलते हैं? रोज सुबह ऑफिस में आके पंच करना और 6 बजे 7 बजे चले आना उसको मेहनत नहीं बोलते हैं, उसको सीट गर्म करना बोलते हैं. Putting your effort into a right direction is what we call a right way of channelizing your effort, and then wait for that result to come. Then it might take a year, then it might take 2 years, but result will fall in place. So when I used to like handle, I mean, since we handle a team whenever we execute a project, तो ये यूजुअली ना सोर्सिंग मैनेजर से पहला ऑब्जेक्शन आता है, सर मैं ना चैनल पार्टनर से बहुत मिल रहा हूँ बट मेरा ना वॉक-इन्स जनरेट नहीं हो रहे. चैनल पार्टनर से मिलने से वॉक-इन जनरेट होंगे ही नहीं. चैनल पार्टनर क्या एक्टिविटी कर रहा है वॉक-इन जनरेट कराने के लिए, तुमको तो वो देखना है.
करेक्ट, वेरी गुड.
सो यू डोंट नीड टू मीट 100 चैनल पार्टनर, you need to ensure that out of those 100 channel
आप
partner,
वो चैनल पार्टनर के पास जा रहे हो जो कि वो एरिया यार
नहीं,
वो माइक्रो मार्केट कर ही नहीं रहा है.
नहीं, मैं बोल रहा हूँ भले नहीं करे,
अच्छा,
आपको उससे करवाना है.
अच्छा, वेरी गुड.
So even if you meet 50 channel partner, you don't necessarily need to meet 100, but out of 50 you need to ensure that 10 channel partner do some activity which generate clients for your project.
Very interesting.
And what activity he is doing is important then.
Very interesting.
Those activity will generate walk-ins for this project, then it is important. But अगर आपको लग रहा है कि बस चैनल पार्टनर के दरवाजे पे जाके अगर आपको walk-ins आ जाएगा, then it will not happen. And then when these walk-in comes, the second objection come from the closing team. सर अपना है ना सर प्राइस बहुत ज़्यादा है इसकी वजह से बुकिंग नहीं हो रही है. प्राइस कम करके बेचना है तो then I don't need you. All I need is a good nice board. Put a price correction. 1 करोड़ नहीं है, it's just 69 lakhs. Client will drop a check and it is done. I don't need salespeople. I don't need sourcing team. I don't need marketing team.
Correct.
So the art of selling comes that not just 1 crore, you try to sell something at 1.10. So that is the art of selling. So you need to put your effort into a right direction कि चलो ठीक है मैंने क्लाइंट को इस तरीके से हैंडल किया, नहीं सेल हुआ, अब मैं इसको इस तरीके से हैंडल करती हूँ, प्रोडक्ट को इस तरीके से करती हूँ. Initially 10 clients might be difficult, but you would be able to crack the 11th client. You would be able to crack the 12th client.
Correct. Girish, we spoke about content marketing. अभी बहुत नया ट्रेंड हो गया about influencer marketing. So can you tell us, as an influencer marketer, what should be the key strengths और उनके क्या elements होने चाहिए for a developer to engage with the real estate influencer marketer?
So my humble request to all the developer not to directly coordinate with influencer until unless you have a strategy in place. That is the most important part.
मतलब without the strategy you are contacting the influencer marketer.
हाँ, मतलब अगर आपको पता ही नहीं है कि आपको करना क्या है इन्फ्लुएंसर के साथ, उसको यूटिलाइज कैसे करना है, बिकॉज टेकिंग वन वीडियो फ्रॉम एन इन्फ्लुएंसर विल नॉट गिव यू एनी रिजल्ट. और फिर होता क्या है, आई डोंट वांट टू नेम एनी इन्फ्लुएंसर बिकॉज ऑल आर डूइंग फैंटास्टिक जॉब. होता क्या है, अरे मैंने वो इन्फ्लुएंसर को लिया था, उसने पैसा लिया, बट फिर उससे मेरे को ना रिजल्ट नहीं आया. It was not his fault. He was supposed to give you that video, not result. It was your duty to ensure that you give him the right script and you ensure that you get a right content out of him. It was your agency's duty to put a right strategy in place. It was your agency's duty to provide you right a performance marketing ideas which will give you result. उसका काम आपको वीडियो देने का ही था. Correct. जो उसने दिया. अगर उसको रिजल्ट देना आता तो आपसे परसेंटेज चार्ज करके वो तो धंधा करता वो. सो इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. फर्स्ट थिंग टू डू इज टू डू अ राइट सेट ऑफ स्ट्रैटेजी. वंस योर स्ट्रैटेजी इज इन प्लेस, देन यू गेट इनटू प्रोडक्ट स्क्रिप्ट एंड देन हाउ यू विल यूटिलाइज दिस कंटेंट. If you don't know how to utilize this content, if your agency doesn't know how to utilize this content, which will give you sales, not reach, not engagement, which will give you sales.
गिरीश, ये तुमने बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग पॉइंट बताया है. और जैसे यू सेड दिस इन अर्लियर पार्ट ऑफ द कन्वर्सेशन, आई थिंक स्टिल लॉट ऑफ डेवलपर्स आर नॉट यूजिंग दिस स्ट्रैटेजी. दिस इज अ वेरी वेरी इम्पॉर्टेंट एंड आई थिंक इट इज़ गोइंग टू बी वेरी इम्पॉर्टेंट इन द नेक्स्ट कमिंग ईयर्स. जैसे कि आपने बताया कि जो हमारे बायर्स हैं, चाहे वो पे चेक इज़ द फादर इज गोइंग टू बी कटिंग, but the children or the youngsters will be playing an important role in that decision, right? Correct. So influencer marketing, content मेरे ख्याल से बहुत ज़रूरी है.
So मेरे ख्याल से अब तक एजेंसीज भी वो लेवल पे सोच नहीं रही है, इवॉल्व नहीं हुई है. So it will take time. So just to give you a small example, recent assignment I did for one of the brand known as Nova 10 at Kharghar. So a new brand, probably their first or second project, social media page ही उन्होंने नया बनाया था, and they wanted to go out in the market, launch it. It was a first launch for them. CP meet they are doing for the first time. Now you imagine their promoters did sole mandate for last 15, 20 years, 30 years.
वो खुद
सोल सेलिंग करते थे. They took me on board for content marketing. They could have done it. सोल सेलिंग करते थे, so they were the best.
अलग-अलग चीज़ है ना ये.
So they realized that जो expertise जिसका है, तो मैंने बोला thank you so much for giving this opportunity. Very good. Because you are respecting कि जिसका जो काम है, जो जिसमें expertise है वो होना चाहिए. Correct. तो फीस वगैरह तो एक साइड पे ठीक है, whatever you are paying that is there, but I will ensure that I will put 100 नहीं 200% because moreover money you are ensuring that there is a respect coming in place.
Very good, very good.
So we took Tanaz Irani on board to promote as an influencer, not as a brand ambassador, but as an influencer. We took her on board, gave her assignment. Product तो एक ही था. We took each and every element of the product, created a content out of it. We created 7 different videos of the product. The product was supposed to be a gold class residences. We ensured the entire concept of gold class residences were highlighted in all these 7 elements.
Very nice.
And now we are using this entire 7 videos in performance marketing, and we have strategized hook. The first 3 seconds has been strategized, the first 10 seconds has been strategized, the reels in performance marketing has been strategized, and which all reel will be used in retargeting, which will push clients for site visit, which reel will push clients for who has done the site visit, now will push client for buying.
Very good.
And those who have already bought will be seeing the progress of the construction.
Correct.
So there is a construction update reel which will coming every 45 days.
Fantastic, Girish. It was a pleasure. Girish, what can we expect from you, say, in the next 5 years?
From me or from real estate?
From you, no. Now the focus is you now. It was one of the most educative session I have had. The questions were also ekdam to the point, and you answered them so well. Genuinely, this becomes like a master class. So what can we expect from Girish?
Last 1.5, 2 years, I've been learning back and going on ground again, and I've been learning about land and
आपके मैंने वीडियो देखे लैंड के,
education.
आपका मैंने सबसे जो एक इम्पोर्टेंट वीडियो देखा, मैं एक नवी मुंबई के इवेंट पे गया था, आई वाज ऑन द पैनल, तो आपने एक नवी मुंबई 3.0 के ऊपर आपने एक लैंड के ऊपर बहुत अच्छा एजुकेटिव वीडियो डाला था.
तो मतलब अभी हो क्या रहा है, हर कोई लैंड प्रमोट कर रहा है, बट किसी को कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है और हर कोई खरीद भी रहा है. अब मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ, लोग है ना फॉरेस्ट लैंड खरीद रहे हैं, लोग ऐसे ऐसे जोन में लैंड खरीद रहे हैं, डेवलपमेंट जोन में खरीद रहे हैं, किसी को कोई आइडिया नहीं है. लोग नैना में लैंड खरीद रहे हैं, किसी को कोई आइडिया नहीं है कि उसमें कल रिजर्वेशन आ जाएगा, उसमें उसको 40% देना पड़ेगा. दे हैव नो क्लू व्हाट दे आर बाइंग. They have no clue. And last 2 years, I have visited Western Line up to Dhanu. So I'm talking about from Vasai till Dhanu. There are almost 300, 400 channel partner knows me personally. I have landowners knows me personally. I have visited Shahpur, Murbad, Kasara, Khardi, Igatpuri. More than 30-40 real estate agent, top aggregator, more than 30-40 Sarpanch knows me personally. Then I have visited Mangaon, Indapur, Srivardhan, Dhapoli, Kolad, then I would say Karjat, Panvel, Chowk, Khalapur, Kapoli Karjat Road, Chavni, Pain, all these areas.
Very good. So land is your next focus right now?
So land is my next focus, and last 2 years, all I was doing first was groundwork. Though I am from real estate, I have taken education, I know licensing, basic paperwork, basic education, we know technicalities, what to check, what not to check. But land and every zone, every location requires different legalities. Every location is a different subject. So that I was able to learn, and you won't believe I would have spent more than 10-15 lakh rupees. Whatever proposal that I used to check on land, I used to get papers of that proposal. I used to check with Alibag, Igatpuri I used to check from Nasik, and I have spent 10-15 lakh rupees just on documentation, just to learn.
Very good.
कि सामने वाला जो बोलता है वो डॉक्यूमेंट्स पे है भी कि नहीं है. एंड देन आई वाज एबल टू आइडेंटिफाई द गैप कि बोलने में क्या है, डॉक्यूमेंट्स पे क्या है, गवर्नमेंट क्या बोल रही है और एक्चुअली में क्या होने वाला है. So this is what I was able to identify, and very soon, I mean, I've already acquired a certain portion of land in Karjat, and very soon I would like to build or bridge this gap and get into some kind of development where this has been able to cater to clients where they have this education and they are able to buy a proper land and they are able to buy in a very value for money proposition.
Correct.
So they don't need to pay 4,000, 5,000 rupees a square feet, but I am not gonna sell it at 200 because that's not there. That's not there.
That's not the price.
That's not the price. But something which is value for money. तो जब airport actually आएगा, they would be able to build something or they would be able to sell.
And it is a proper utilization होगा.
There is a proper utilization.
वो ज़्यादा important है.
वो सबसे ज़्यादा है. मतलब मैं ये बोल रहा हूँ कि 200 रुपए वाला land will not fetch anything until unless you have bought it properly. ठीक है, 500 रुपए में आप लो, प्रीमियम देके लो 500 रुपए में, बट 5 साल के बाद वो जेवी हो सकता है.
चाहिए ना, either capital appreciation यार उसका कोई
मतलब कोई डेवलपर आके बोलना चाहिए कि I would want this land for a joint venture. Some industrialist should come. I would want a plant
to buy a villa here.
To buy this land to build a plant.
Villa.
So these kind of land buying should happen.
Correct.
So two things that I would like to do. One is the education point because everyone and
it's a lacking of this.
It's a lacking of education, and that's where people are making money. Less of education and more of money. That's how India works basically, and that's the reason why there is a less transparency. So that's what I would like to do next.
So friends, I am sure you had a wonderful learning experience, education from Propgyani Girish. In the comments, in my last 10-12 episodes, I have never asked it, but it's a good opportunity for you. Comments में आप अपना प्लीज़ क्वेश्चंस लिखिए, तो गिरीश भी पढ़ लेंगे और हम गिरीश के पास वो सवाल लेके जाएंगे. Otherwise, you can always, Girish, why don't you share your social media handle where friends can directly reach you or any other communication where, because honestly I'm telling you, I really enjoyed this session. एक लर्निंग एक्सपीरियंस 4-5 पॉइंट्स, तो मेरे जो आने वाले प्रोजेक्ट है उसके लिए मैंने अब मेरा फ़ायदा हो गया है. वो बिना फीस दिए क्या बोलते हैं शहबाज, मैंने कहा कि नहीं रोल चालू है, तो मैं खाली बता रहा हूँ कि हमारा जो एक आप डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म हम बना रहे हैं, तो 4-5 आइडियाज़ मेरे को गिरीश भाई से मिल चुके हैं, तो मैं चाहता हूँ कि सबको फ़ायदा हो. आई थिंक गिरीश, इसको मैं यहीं पर ही रैप भी करूँगा. आई थिंक शेयरिंग इज़ केयरिंग हमारे इंडस्ट्री में है नहीं, अनफॉर्चुनेटली. कि हमारे में जो कंपटीशन की जो भावना है वो ज़्यादा है कि संगीत और गिरीश कंपटीशन, रफीक भाई और गिरीश कंपटीशन नहीं होनी चाहिए. नहीं
सर, आपको
इतना बड़ा काम है यार.
सर, आप मेरे को आज मेरे ख्याल से 10 साल हो गया मेरे को, आप जानते हैं. आई थिंक द फर्स्ट टाइम वी मेट आई यूज्ड टू ऑलवेज शेयर आइडियाज विद यू आल्सो एंड विद एवरीवन आल्सो.
ऑफिस में आए थे,
करेक्ट.
वो तभी प्लैटिनम की जो हम मार्केटिंग की बात कर रहे थे, फेसबुक का आपने पेज पूरा बनाया.
ठीक है. सो आई ऑलवेज बिलीव इन शेयरिंग, बिकॉज मैंने आमिर खान का वो मूवी से मैंने ये बहुत ज़्यादा, मतलब आई एम वेरी मूव्ड फ्रॉम दैट डायलॉग. ज्ञान बट रहा है, कोई भी क्लास में चले जाओ, ज्ञान बट रहा है, लेने वाला होना चाहिए, उसको आना चाहिए कि कैसे लेना है आपको. एंड आई बिलीव द मोर यू शेयर every day, while I was talking to you, I was able to just crack a campaign while sitting here. So it's not just a benefit to you, it's a benefit to me also.
Both ways, right?
So it will become a win-win situation. So the more knowledge you share, the universe will give it back to you.
और बहुत बड़ी इंडस्ट्री है गिरीश,
बहुत बड़ी इंडस्ट्री है,
बहुत काम है इसमें, काम की तो कोई कमी नहीं है, इतना स्क्वायर फीट आ रहा है. So Girish, it was a pleasure hosting you, and friends, excuse me little bit of my sore throat, so bear with my throat. And again, repeating it, I enjoyed this. Girish is available. He's all over the social media. Please ask him questions. If there is any new realtor who wants advice, I'm sure Girish will be more than happy to engage with you and give his ideas. Developers are already engaging him, but I want more of my broker friends who are having any challenges to please call Girish and take his advice. And I'm sure you will be happy and it will make a lot of good to you. Thanks Girish for joining us.
Thank you
And if there is a possibility, we'll have a second episode again with you so that we continue with the marketing, branding and sales.
Sure. Depending upon the views and the comments that we get.
Yeah, I think this is the first time we are going to focusing more on the comments.
Yes.
And you do share we'll make a few good reels. And so our marketing team should focus on reels. Girish is there on Insta, and we had a good amount of likes on our Insta. YouTube चल रहा है, चलने दो उसको, but Insta पे जितना ज़्यादा hooks और reels आप बना सकते हो वो बनाइए. Thanks a lot Girish again. और again आपका मुझे मालूम है tight schedule चल रहा है, but फिर भी between the two meetings you came. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
us.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
And how was your experience?
Very good.
Good. Thanks a lot.